Hello, good evening to all. How are you guys doing? You guys can see my slide, right? Okay, I was just looking through the buttons and kind of overlooked. Okay, so good evening. Hi, my name is Naresh. Thank you for joining this session, which I gave a nickname What's Up with Goal. So today we are going to go through one of the fundamental, or rather, how did I get started with this public goal, right? All these days you hear me talking about why we should consider having gold as part of our portfolio, and how gold effectively can help us to protect our savings, right? So here, by understanding how did I begin this, also will give you guys another perspective. All right. And first of all, hi Richard, thank you for joining me, and your support is highly encouraged. Thank you so much. So for those of you who are joining, I would appreciate if you can help me to share this video to your friends and family, because maybe there are uh, your friends or your family who are thinking about how to protect their savings for the long term, right? And they're looking for a way which is very cost effective, or which is basically zero cost. Okay, so in order to get the program started, there is no fee associated whatsoever, and the only thing you have to put is the deposit that will convert 100% into gold, right? So here we are going to go through this topic, how I got started with public gold. And without further ado, let me just get started lah. All right, let me just get started. And then, so today I'm doing something different. Okay, so yesterday I attended this a workshop. Okay, I started this workshop where um I attended a workshop about how to utilize this streaming service. Okay, so as I was looking on how to utilize the program, and then I thought, okay, let me just give this a try. So today what I'm doing is that I'm actually streaming on few locations. Okay, not only I'm streaming on Facebook, I'm also streaming on my Diversify with Gold YouTube channel, and also I'm trying to stream on my Instagram. I've never done this before, so today I'm doing lah. Okay, just want to give a try. So the YouTube one seems okay. I can see the YouTube one is live, right? It says excellent connection, right? Okay, I'm happy with that. But when it comes to Instagram, suddenly I'm not having a good connection lah. I'm not sure why. It's okay. I think that is something that I think I will look through this issue later lah. Okay, so let's get started then. So right, okay, so typically what I will do is that I will uh, start the discussion by putting us on the same page, where I want to again reiterate on why we are doing this, right? Because typically when I talk to people about this program, they always want to compare the return. Okay, so which is not wrong. Okay, they are fair to ask what is the return by converting their savings into gold, right? And then when I tell them that my real experience, right, where I converted my 10 I converted, meaning I bought 10 grams of gold back in 2018, and then if I choose to sell today, my return is almost 30%. So when I tell them from 2018 to 2021, I'm getting about 30% return, is it okay? So when I tell them this, they feel like it's still little apparently. So if that is the case, right? If that is the case, where if you think that 30% in this 2 years plus duration is little, then there is nothing much I can say. However, the reason why we do this, okay, the reason why we do this is because not to make money. Right, we are doing this not to make money, right? We are not saying that gold is going to be the next Bitcoin, for example. We are not saying that gold is going to be the next Amazon, right? Nothing like that. Here, the reason why we are converting our money into gold is not to lose money. Okay, making money and not to lose money are two different things. Okay, do you get the idea here? So here, keeping our savings in the form of cash inherently will lose value because of inflation. So that is what I'm actually trying to picturize that concept of inflation using this picture over here. If you see across the 3 time points, 2000, 2010, 2021, let me just straight away go to the ringgit one. You can see that the same dollars, the same ringgit, or the same amount of money will give us lesser a number of grocery items as time goes on, right? And the same pattern can also be seen if we want to convert our cash into grams of gold, right? So if we do this, so once we see this pattern, we see the pattern where we convert our savings into grams of gold, or at different time point we are getting lesser item, right? So this is what we mean by inflation, simply by telling that the value of our money is reducing over time. Therefore, how to solve? How to solve is basically we have our savings, we just convert into gold, and then we just keep the gold. We keep the gold over the 3 time points. So for example, in 2021, okay, in 2021, the same 3 grams of gold will be worth 780 ringgit, simply because 1 gram of gold is about 260 ringgit. So times 3 is 780 ringgit. So you might be asking, where does these 3 grams of gold comes from? Because you converted these 3 grams of gold back in the year 2000. Again, in the year 2000, you have 100 ringgit in your bank account. Instead of keeping that 100 ringgit in your bank account, you converted into grams of gold, and then you keep these grams of gold until today, right? So because you kept gold until today, these grams of gold today is worth 780, and with 780, the chances of you to buy 1 trolley of grocery items is very high. So that is the idea. So here we are not converting our money into gold to make more money, but rather we are doing this not to lose money. You understand the difference here? So that's what I want to impart to you all through this slide over here. And then if we move to the next one, is just another depiction on how the purchasing power of US dollar is decreasing on yearly basis. This is just to reiterate on how important this concept is. And furthermore, this is also another strong idea where when we talk about converting our savings into gold, we are not doing in isolation. Okay, we are not doing in isolation simply because as I was finding this information, whereby I wanted to see what are the countries around the region, for example, like Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore. So what are they, do they have gold in their portfolio or not? Okay, so for example, the answer is yes, they do. And if you look at Thailand, for example, they have about 244 tons of gold, meaning they have about 244,000 kilogram of gold, because 1 ton is equivalent to 1000 kg, right? So under the Singapore's context, we can see that the Singapore government has 127,000 kilograms of gold. So now, when the governments in the region, when the countries in the region have gold as part of their portfolio, what does that mean? Does that mean that they are fully convinced with the money they carry? They also have cash, right? They have cash, they have bonds, they have foreign reserve currency. So they have so many other assets, but they also have gold. So when they have gold as part of their portfolio, so this behavior is something that we can learn and mimic. We can copy lah, basically. How to copy? So we have savings in our bank. We just convert a portion of our savings into gold. Okay, so yesterday we spoke about how much of our savings should we convert. So the range is between 10% to 50%, right? Tuan Azizi Ali, which is one of the financial expert in Malaysia, he recommends 10%. And then we have our famous Robert Kiyosaki, he says 25%. And then we have Mike Maloney, another financial expert in the US, he says 50%. Right? So here, my take is that 10% is enough. Okay, so if you have 10%, if you have savings and then you convert 10% into gold, it's a good start. As you begin to understand how gold is protecting your money, after 2 years doing this, right, of course I'm increasing lah. Okay, I'm increasing more than 10% because I already see how it's helping me. Okay, I already see how it's helping me, so I'm actually going beyond 10%. Because at the same time, looking at the current price volatility, right, I'm taking advantage of the installment plan, and then on what are the products I can buy, which I can pay by installment. But therefore, as a whole, basically what I'm doing, I'm converting more than 10%. But then for a beginner like you, or for let's say if you're thinking to start, okay, what you can do, you can start with at least 5 to 10% of your savings, you convert into gold, and then you just keep it for long term. Okay, so in the year 2000, 100 ringgit may be, let's say for example, your a portion of your pocket money, for example. Okay, in the year 2000, I was in secondary school. If I want to earn 100 ringgit, probably I have to work part-time. But then I think if I work part-time, I can earn 100 ringgit within a month. So every month I have 100 ringgit and I just convert into 3 grams of gold. I think it's a good deal. If I keep that 3 grams of gold until today, the worth or the value that I have protected is amazing. So that is the concept that I want to impart over here. And then so when did I begin the aha moment, right? When did I get this enlightenment? Okay, when the light started to shine on me, though I have two lights over here, when did I start to get this enlightenment saying that, okay, Naresh, it's time to start saving gold, right? So this started back in 2009 when I completed my degree. Then after completing my degree, so what I did, I started working as a researcher. And then during the weekends, I used to work as a waiter. Okay, I used to work as a waiter for private events lah, for private events such as wedding, birthday function, open house, corporate events. So basically we serve as a waiter for a private caterers. So typically what I will earn is about 40 to 50 ringgit per session. And this one session will takes about 7 hours on average. Basically, it starts from the going to the place of event, and then the lorry from the caterers will come. You have to unload the lorry. You have to set up the area, meaning you have to arrange the table and everything. You have to set the tablecloth, put the chair cover, arrange the cutleries, and then later on, once you're ready with the arrangement, then the food will come from the kitchen, from the caterer's kitchen. Then again, you have to do another round of arranging of the food, and then you start preparing the food. So it's a very long process, but about 7 hours lah. And after the event ends around 9:30 or 10, then we have to do clearing. You have to clear all the plates from the event, from the hall. Then you have to clear all the rubbish and everything, right? And then if there are any spillage or whatever, you have to clean the area. So all this, all in all, so all in all, when we do this, we will get about 40 to 50 ringgit per session or per event lah, basically. So it's a long hour process. But then at that time I was given this opportunity, or I would say that when I was my brother was also involved. Okay, so I actually went along with him lah. My brother was involved and I went along with him, and I actually learned a lot of information. I learned a lot of process to do this work, right? And then at one time I was actually kind of became a group leader. Okay, at one point what happened is that I will be leading a group of maybe 15 people, 20 people. I will be in charge of a particular event. So my boss at that time will say, okay, Naresh, I want you to bring this team of 20 people, go to, let's say, Shah Alam. Go to Shah Alam stadium, or Shah Alam, a place. There is this caterer having an event. You know what to do. You make the event successful. Make sure there is no conflict. Right, so yeah, so basically what I will do, I will bring the whole team, bring that to the hall, and do all the arrangement. I'll be planning lah. I'll be doing the planning, arranging who's doing what, who will be in charge in the kitchen area, meaning handling the food, who will be the one arranging the hall arrangement, like the chairs, the tables. So all these are there. So these are the things that I learned lah. Okay, these are the things that I learned on how to manage people, on how to allocate resources. So these things I learned without going to business school. These are the things that I learned through hands-on. So at one point, because we group leaders, we meet once a week. Okay, we meet once a week to do a post-mortem, meaning to discuss whatever problems we face during handling the event. Maybe the caterer claimed that 20 people is enough for a particular event. But then once we went there with 20 people, actually we realized that 20 people is actually too little. We got cheated in a way that actually that event requires 30 people. But then the caterer wanted to save costs. They only requested 20 people from us. All right. So these are the things that we will discuss, and then so that we can negotiate better. So these are the things that we discussed during the post-mortem meeting. And then one of my senior group leader lah, so he was like saying that because during that day also, during that time also, hi Sumitra. So during that time also, we would do the if there are any events coming soon, we would do some payment calculation, right? So we would do payment calculation, and then during that time, one of my senior group leader was saying, "Hey Naresh, do you know actually all this money that you're calculating right now, right, is losing value?" So I was like, what does he mean by that, right? I'm calculating like the money in front of me, and then when I look at the money, it looks okay only, right? I don't see any like losing value information or losing value kind of situation happening. Then I said, what do you mean? I call him Abang lah. So what do you mean Abang? Can you tell me? Abang means big bro lah. So what do you mean Abang? So he said, okay. Then he spoke about fiat money, right? So all this money are basically fiat money. So this money, because they are printed without because they printed this money more and more, and then the money value is losing due to inflation. So therefore, in order to protect this money, you have to convert your money into precious metal. Then I was like, this is totally new to me lah. Okay, this was in 2010, right? This was totally new to me. Then I started thinking, right, precious metal, fiat money, what is this? All this sounds very alien to me. Then I decided to find more information lah. So what are precious metals, right? So essentially, precious metals are rare metals which are deposited on earth, and these rare metals have high economic value. Okay, so they have high economic value because of the application, or because of the scarcity of this particular metal. So because of this nature, because of this scarcity application, right, because of this nature of these metals, this makes them to serve as a store of value. All right, so for example, like gold, silver, platinum, palladium, all these rare metals are very little deposited on earth. Therefore, whenever you have a whole of them, this gold or silver have a store of value. So whenever you convert your savings or your money into this kind of metal, the value will be protected. That is the idea. Then I got interested, so I was like, wow, I didn't know about this. Okay, all this while I thought, because since young we were taught by our parents, right? Naresh, this is pocket money, 2 ringgit. You go to school, you spend 1 ringgit, and then the other 1 ringgit you keep in the piggy bank. Correct or not? Right? So the piggy bank, once the piggy bank becomes so fat, the piggy bank won't become fat, it stays the same. But when it becomes heavy, you then bring it to the bank, and then you just keep it in the bank. Alright? That's why Robert Kiyosaki says savers are losers. Savers are losers simply because you keep in the form of cash. We didn't know. My parents didn't know. Right? But then now that we know, we have to do something about it. Right? But let's go back to the story. So when I got to know about these precious metals, and then how they have the store of value nature, right? Then I got interested, and then what I did. Okay, so right, okay, yeah. So before that, let me just then we spoke about this some time back in the webinar about before 1971, how every money printed has a gold backing behind the scene, right? Whereby every ounce of gold, which is 31.1 gram of gold, is equivalent to US dollar $35, right? And at that time, the dollar that we received, or the dollar that was available at that point of time, is nothing but a voucher. Serves nothing but a voucher, and this voucher was created to facilitate transaction, the buying and selling. Because you cannot go to the chicken rice stall and then bring a gold bar, right? Then you just plug the gold bar. Uncle, I want the chicken rice. You cannot do that. But then, let's say if you have the voucher associated, the voucher has with the equivalent value of that gold, then you can use the voucher and exchange for the goods and services. Correct? And then actually, if you just zoom further, you can see redeemable in gold on demand at the United States Treasury, or in gold or lawful money at any Federal Reserve Bank. So there is the that was the original money was used for. Before, meaning once upon a time, money, the paper money that we use are nothing more than voucher, right? And then on 1971, what happened is that the president at that time, he decided to announce that the gold and also USD used to be together, right? Meaning, 1 ounce of gold, okay, 1 ounce of gold is equivalent to $35. But then, because the government of United States, the government of America needed more money, but they don't have more gold. So what they did, they decided to detach. And they say, we are going to stop this conversion. We are going to temporarily stop the conversion. And then therefore they said, let's do this to make our currency stronger. We stop the conversion, and we need to then we can, then once things are going back to normal, then we can come back together, right? And then so what happened, this took place in 1971, I think exactly just 50 years ago. So 50 years ago, the president said, let's detach, and until today it is still detached. Okay, so meaning after 50 years, they decided to keep it that way lah. Okay, they decided to keep it that way. So the government of America decided to print more money, because once this announcement was made, they can continue printing money without any support of gold. All right, so that's what happened in 1971, and then money printing was done as and when Federal Reserve feels to do so. And then so more money printed equals to money losing value, which give rise to inflation. And then I also showed this graph, which is the money, the M2 money stock, right? You can see that the money has been increasingly printed. Okay, this is not a good news, guys. Okay, as the money stock getting increasing, and then in 2020 you can see suddenly it shoot up like this, which means that more money was printed last year. So when more and more money get printed, which means that the money that we holding today is getting less and less valuable, right? So this is something that we need to address lah. So that's where the fiat money comes in the picture. So fiat money, as you can see over here, so fiat money has no intrinsic worth. What it's printed on is worthless, right? So commodity money is basically gold. The money is made of commodities such as gold. So this is the true form of money, and where you can use it to store value. Okay, so like I showed earlier, right, in the year 2000, 100 ringgit you can convert, you can get 3 grams of gold. But then today, the same 100 ringgit will give you even lesser. You will get 0.38 gram of gold, which means that the money is not the though when you tell people will think that, oh, but Naresh, because the gold price have gone up so much. Okay, yes, it makes sense if you say that, but the flip side of it is that the value of our money has gone down so much, right? So that is the idea of this fiat money. So I got to know all this information, and then I started buying lah. So I started buying silver actually. So at that time, once I understand the concept of fiat money and then how we need to protect using precious metal, I was looking for ways on how to buy lah. And I noticed that gold was very expensive, because 1 ounce of gold is 31.1 gram, and it's not cheap. It's actually very expensive at that time, and it was few thousand ringgit lah. So few thousand ringgit definitely I don't have. So what I did, I decided to look for the second alternative, the next best one, which is silver. So I started buying silver lah. So these are the silver coins that I bought. I don't have it now with me, but I have it in my collection. So I bought silver coins, I bought silver bars, right? And then what happened is that in late 2018, I came across this book, Misi Bebas Hutang. So Misi Bebas Hutang, if I can translate in English, means it's a mission of debt-free mission. Okay, debt-free mission, because Misi means mission, Bebas Hutang means debt-free. Okay, so basically how to become debt-free. Yeah, so that is the gist of it lah. So in this book, it was written by Tuan Zul. Okay, it was written by Tuan Zul, and then I bought it. So you must be thinking, right, Naresh, you talk so much, can you show me the book? I purposely prepared the book lah. Okay, can you see the book? Oh, hi Raja, thank you for joining me. Okay, this is the book. Okay, And then so basically in this book they he spoke about financial behavior, and then he spoke about how to manage debt. So you can see the picture of credit card, right? So what he says, don't advocate the use of credit card, because credit card, if you don't understand the nitty gritty behind of it, you will end up paying more in terms of the charges. And then basically he also spoke about how to protect your savings for the long term. Then he just spoke briefly about gold, but then I wasn't interested about gold at that time. I was just interested on, okay, what are the ways can we do to get to become debt free, right? And then so I was like, okay, not bad. The book was not bad. It was easy to read, easy to understand. And then and at that time, on the same year, like I mentioned earlier, right, I was actually went to one of the shopping complex near my home, and then I noticed the Post Malaysia, okay, the postage service of Malaysia was having a roadshow. They were having an exhibition, and then out of all the things they were showing at the time, the one that caught my eye was this. Okay, it was just at a particular corner, only one person was standing there. I came to the person, then I saw this beautiful thing. Then I said, what is this? Is this a fake one? Then they said, no, no, this is real one. It's actually a collaboration between Post Malaysia and Public Gold. He was talking all the things, but I wasn't listening. Like, I was just looking at the thing and I was admiring it. I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. Then I said, okay, okay, how much? Then he said, okay, because now we are having promotion. I think for you, what I will do, he just calculate. Then he said about 1,800. Then I thought, okay, because last time when I wanted to when I wanted to buy 1 ounce of gold, it was thousands of ringgit. Okay, it was 3-4 thousands of ringgit. And now when I wanted to buy this gold, he said only 1,800. So I thought, okay, this is not too bad. Then I said, okay, this is my card. Let's get it done. I want to get one. Then he said, okay. Then he gave me. So the transaction got completed lah. So I bought. That was my very first gold bar. And at that time, I wasn't even thinking about public gold, right? So what happened is that, and then, okay, this is just to show that I bought this at 1,800. And then if I use the buyback price today, right, which is 2,336, and then if I choose to sell, I would get gain about 30%, right? So for me, I think this is amazing, because the intention of me doing this was not for the gain, but again, I'm doing this for in order to not lose money, right? I did this not to gain money, not to make money, but in order not to lose money. So with that perspective, did I achieve my objective? The answer is yes. All right. So then the next, I went to one of the bookstore. I forgot which one. I think either MPH or Popular. I saw this person. I saw this book. Then I said, oh, this guy looks familiar lah. This guy looks familiar. And then the Wang Emas. Wang Emas means gold money, right? Wang means money. Emas means gold, right? Wang Emas. Then I said, okay, then okay, let's buy lah. So I bought, and that's another book I have also lah. In case you guys think that I'm just talking without any proof, right? So I have the book. I bought the book and I brought it here lah. I'm in Singapore currently. So then in this book he was speaking more about gold, the origin of gold, and then once I read the book, then I registered for the Gap account, right? I registered for the Gap account, and then I tested for 2 years, meaning once I got the book, because I was still skeptical, to be honest, right? This company, they have a gold savings program, and they don't charge anything for saving the gold. And then and whenever you want to withdraw, you are allowed to do so. And then when you want to pledge for quick cash, also you can. So I was like, are you sure? Is this really trustable or not, right? So, but I decided to give a try anyway. I tested with 100 ringgit. And then after some time, I realized that my savings is increasing in value, because the gold price was increasing steadily. And then that's when I realized that, okay, this is something that everybody should do, because this program, right, that 100 ringgit is not something that is unique to certain group of people. Before this, we used to have a thinking that this goal is something that only people with a certain net worth can do, right? But then public goal has broken that stigma altogether, because anybody can do this actually. Even students with a part-time, let's say a person like me, right, who worked part-time as a waiter in a private event or whatever. So in one weekend, I can earn about 120, for example, if I do 3 functions. So if I do that, then I can actually easily I can convert that money into gold and keep it for long term. My only regret is that I didn't come across this back then, right? But no regrets lah. So now that I know that this gold is a good tool to protect my money, I decided to share this information to more people, because this becomes my responsibility lah. Okay, because I can choose two things lah. I can choose first to keep it to myself. Just tell my family members, hey, you know what? You save in the form of gold. In the future, the gold price will rise, and then your savings will be protected. Okay, I can choose that. Or second, I take the trouble to do this kind of things. Okay, to do Facebook Live, to do YouTube Live, to post on Facebook, to do all these things. I take the trouble to do all these things in order to spread this knowledge to the audience, basically. So when I thought for a while, I told myself, okay, let's do the second one. Okay, because I don't want, after 5 years later, I don't want to look at myself and then telling myself I should have done this. Okay, so instead of avoiding the regret, I said let's give a try, right? So, and after that, I started contacting Ponzul also, and as of now, we are still in touch, and we used to meet on and off. I used to meet him in order to get some advice, and then so yeah, until today, he's still guiding me lah. So Ponzul, if you are watching, thank you so much for your guidance, and I will still continue my responsibility in sharing this information, just like how you did to me, right? So this is the program I spoke about, which is the GAP program, where you can start with as little as 100 ringgit. So to my Malaysian friends, I think 100 ringgit is not a big crunch to your budget. You have some savings in your bank account. Just take 100 ringgit and convert into gold. Okay, when you do this, first of all, you are converting from paper money into gold money, right? You are not losing anything actually. And then this program, the benefit, like I said, is a free program. There is no registration fee. There is no sales charge being imposed on you. There is no annual fee being imposed on you. And then these grams of gold is Sharia compliant, meaning every deposit that you make has a physical gold in behind the scene. All right. And then whenever you want to withdraw the gold, also is available for you as little as 1 gram. Right. Certain platforms out there, they have a certain restriction. They would say, okay, if you want to withdraw, the minimum amount that you can withdraw is 10 gram, for example. Whereas here, with as little as 1 gram, you can withdraw the gold bar already. And in Malaysia, we have the service where the gold bar will be delivered to you at home. All right, I've never heard this service before, but in Malaysia, we have this particular service where we call it GIT. All right, gold in transit, where we can deliver the item to your home, right? And then, so basically, when I started this initiative, right, if you look at the backdrop, I call this initiative Diversify Bitcoin, because I want to make sure that I set the context right. I'm not asking to put all your money into gold. Okay, basically the idea here is that, again, to take a portion of your savings, we convert into gold and keep it for long term. That's it, right? So I decided to embark on this mission, where I want to spread this knowledge to my friends in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and across the region, right? And apart from that, I also want to build a community. Along the way, as I keep sharing the benefits of gold, how to utilize gold to your advantage, also how to take advantage of the price volatility. Okay, this is not just buy one time and save. Okay, this is basically, if you understand the concept of the price volatility, basically every price volatility is an opportunity. Right, we can do the dollar cost averaging method, and then so let's say for me, right, gold price today as compared to September 2020 actually has gone down. The gold price today is actually lesser than the gold price last year. But then, am I crying about it? Am I crying over about it? No, right? Because I'm actually able to buy more gold today. Right, I can buy more gold today, and then by doing so, I'm actually bringing my buying price down. My average buying price, I'm bringing it down. Right, instead of buying at 280, now I'm getting at 260. So when I buy 280 and then 260, and then the average is 270. Correct. And then if I buy more of 260, I'm actually bringing the average price even lower. So there is the benefit. There is a lot of people out there, they say, but Naresh, the gold price is very expensive. I want to wait for the gold price to fall down further. Until when? Okay, how low is low? How low is low? Correct or not? So instead of you making all these judgment, making all these assumptions, instead of doing that, you just get into the just start buying, and as the gold price drops, you just add more. Okay, so you can start with 100 ringgit, or you can buy the 1 gram per month. So as of now, I'm doing the 1 gram per month concept, and at the same time, I also have the installment program that I initiated. But then let's say if the gold price fall even more, I will grab even more. Okay, because my time horizon is not next month. I'm not going to sell next month. I'm not selling next year. I'm going to sell at least 5, 10 years down the road. Right? I'm preparing for myself for the retirement. I'm preparing for the pilgrimage, like I mentioned to you the other day. So my time horizon is longer than 3 years down the road. Therefore, the more gold price drops, I'm actually very happy. Okay, so I want to build a like-minded community of at least 1,000 gold savers. So when I have this kind of like-minded individuals in the team, then we can support each other. We support each other by sharing good information, and then we collectively we can spread the knowledge to another 1,000 people. All right, so that is my mission by starting this Diversify with Gold movement. And then so basically the aim that I would like to impose to each and every one of you is that if you are an individual, aim for 100 grams per person. Okay, so each and every one of you try to aim for 100 gram per person. So actually, once you start doing this, right, once you start doing this 1 gram per month, then you will realize actually it's not that difficult. Okay, it's not that difficult. And for a family, okay, for a family, as a backup savings, try to save 1 kg of gold per family. Again, I don't think so this is a very ambitious goal. It's a very decent goal for you to achieve, right? So of course, I'm also in the mission of aiming for this also, and I hope in the long run, or in the same process, you also can embark the journey with me, right? So that's what I'm doing lah. So I started this initiative, Diversify with Gold, started doing this live session, wanted to share more information. And so if you have any question regarding this, I even have a PDF on the comment section where you can click and download the PDF for free, and then you can read through lah, what is it all about. And then if you have a specific question, you can click on the WhatsApp link in the comment section also, and then you can connect with me. I'll be able to help you, or help you regarding this particular program, right? So basically that is the end of my presentation today. Thank you so much for your attention. And so if I don't see any questions, and okay, so with that, tomorrow I will see you guys again with another topic. And my role here is to serve as a facilitator. Okay, I would like to facilitate each and every one of you to start diversifying your savings in the form of gold for long-term wealth preservation, right? So with that said, thank you so much, Richard, for the kind comment. And so yeah, maybe you can help me to share the people who are watching this. Thank you so much for your attention. You can help me to share this to more people, because what we are doing is sharing. Okay, we are doing this sharing so that more people can benefit, right? So with that said, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, take care, bye bye.